Hello, Taurus. Welcome or welcome back to Mind, Body, and Heart Tower Therapy. I'm here to do reading for February 2020. I hope you had a good January. We're finally out of the eclipse season, and well, there's a lot going on, and planetary movements, and so on. But yeah, I hope you're well. This is a general reading for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. If it resonates, it resonates, and if it doesn't, it's just not your reading. Take what works for you and use your intuition to know what applies to you, and let the rest go. Or if it really just does not resonate, then it's just not your reading. All right, my loves, let's see what's going on with you, Taurus, in February 2020. All right, so much needed mind rest. The Five of Wands as your challenge. So the Four of Swords as your current energy, the Five of Wands as your challenge, Strength as your focus, Ten of Swords. I saw this one as I was pre-shuffling. Ten of Swords as your advice, Knight of Swords as your future energy, and bottom of the deck we have the Knight of Pentacles as your theme, the underlying energy of the month of February. So there's expansion going on, like emotional expansion. Okay, let's clarify these cards. I feel okay to be drawn to this one. And that was fast. We have the Eight of Wands with the Four of Swords as your current energy, right? We have strength again. We have strength again with the Five of Wands as your challenge. The Three of Stones with strength as your focus. Mother of Wands in the East, the Queen of Wands with the Ten of Swords as your advice. Prince of Stones with the Knight of Swords as your future energy. And bottom of the deck we have, Six of Wands, victory, along with the Knight of Cups as your the theme of your reading. Yeah, the underlying energy of the month of February, kind of what you're working with at a general level, right? And yeah, isn't that beautiful? Victory. Funny, this card just showed up in the same position as underlying energy for Aries. So check out that reading if you have Aries in your chart, or if you're related to this Aries. Seems to be relevant. All right, Taurus. So the Knight of Cups talks about this type of like expansion and emotions, because it's cups, right? So you have an expansion of your emotional realm here. Knights also talk about the mind. Okay, wait. Yeah, I see this wings here, and it makes me think about that it's sort of like air and water energy here. And there's movement, there's progress, there's growth, right? This guy goes there with an open heart and showing what's in his cup, being able to offer, being able to exchange. And with victory, like you see, you have the Five of Wands here, and this is the Six of Wands. I think that you're coming out of whatever's challenging for you in this month, victorious. You're showing what you're made of, and you're able to first of all see it for yourself, because this is one of the most important things that we need to really understand, is that whenever we're trying to get recognition from other people, what we're really trying to do is to get recognition for ourselves, from ourselves. We need to recognize ourselves, we need to validate ourselves, and that's what we need. But most of the time we look outside of ourselves. And also sometimes we've been put in challenging situation that can allow us to understand this type of like, okay, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm able to see my growth. I'm able to see my victory. I'm able to see it. So therefore, I don't need validation from anyone outside of myself. So yeah, I think that there's going to be definitely this opening and this expansion of your emotional realm, being able to hold more emotions within yourself, being able to be more compassionate maybe, and more open, and also more open to give, to offer. May also be an offer, something being offered to you. So in this case, it can be also being like open to receive. So that's your victory this month. Beautiful. And the current energy, Four of Swords with the Eight of Wands, which means swiftness, is really fast. The Four of Swords is like, you need this time of break. You need to, and you there, you being called to maybe meditate more, or take rest, or long walks, or spend time like in this rest mode, and especially, sorry. Especially something that gives your mind the opportunity to rest. Something where you don't necessarily engage in problem solving or in actively thinking about neither how to grow emotionally, or to expand, or to solve your conflicts, or anything at all. Now it's time, this is a time where you go within and you take that break, and you do something that is really, as I said, doesn't engage your mind much. And this allows you to access this energy of the Eight of Wands, which is like really fast moving energy, fast moving information. And this is from the spiritual realm, in a sense. It's from the from it's fire energy, so your passion, your heart will kind of come in front, and you're going to understand your needs. You're communicating with your heart, you, or maybe with your higher self, your soul. You're getting the information that you need from deep down there, as you're spending this time within, alone, in rest mode, without pushing yourself too much, without having beating yourself up about this or about that, or like being pulled back and forth between um events and things and so on. But yeah, remember, this has to do a lot with your mind needs to rest. So that doesn't necessarily mean that you need to lay in bed and do nothing. It's more about not really not engaging your mind actively in something. It can mean a walk, it can mean a board game, whatever puts your mind at ease. With your the Five of Wands here, and the Strength, I think that your challenge this month is to find these moments of tension, sometimes as something playful, as you can have petty conflicts, or you can have friendly competition. These kids here, they're playing, they don't really play with swords. Yeah, it may be a fight, but maybe they're training for a competition or so on. Or they're training in, yeah, they're training for, maybe it's for a game, or for it doesn't matter, it's like a training ground. This is not about really damaging each other, but they're obviously going to challenge each other, and they need to show what they're made of. And you see, with the Six of Wands here, you're going to come out victorious. You're going to show what you're made of. But that requires strength. That requires to believe in your inner strength, to develop and train that part of you that's really deep and strong, to come out and to sustain you, to help you out, to um, learn to develop your strength. It can literally mean like, I don't know, maybe you're training for a marathon, for a competition, and your marathon, maybe it's not the best idea. I mean, you're running along with friends. uh, but maybe you have an aikido competition, I don't know. And you need to train for that. You need to train your muscles, but you also need to take rest in order for the muscles to bring to build that strength. Anyhow, your challenge seems, this may be challenging for you right now. Maybe you don't believe in yourself. Maybe you just don't want to do this right now, to be challenged, to go to be playful in this type of situation. It's okay. You have strength here again, and they come just like this cross, because that's what your focus is right now. Strength. You have the strength, and you're just becoming stronger and stronger for whatever it is challenging for you right now, whatever this challenge is. And this also helps you to build like really good work relationships and like network. It can be network for actual work, or it can be just a support network for yourself, your friends, your family, your everything. Because the way you cope with this, the way you deal with this situation right now, you're learning, you're kind of you are showing your talents, you're allowing for this emotional expansion, and that's leading you places. It allows you really to relate differently to the others, and be able to have much more harmonious and fruitful relationships. It's working. It's gonna work for you. It can be work relationships, it can be also just relationship in your life, as I said. This card here, it's called work, the Three of Stones. And you know what? I want to read just what it says in this little booklet I've got from this, the Three of. Because I see with this work here, it's a slightly different interpretation than the Three of Pentacles it has in the Weight deck, which depicts like three people from different departments, or different um, schools of life, or walks of life, and different experience working together to build something, right? Yeah, of course this is work. So, but I just want to see what's the take here. Wands, cups. Okay, stones. Fellowship with man. The background depicts a cross. The vertical line of spirit is strong, but the horizontal line of daily life is overgrown with fungus, indicating chaos. The cosmic ball shows the possibility of great change, divinatory meanings, work, and satisfaction. So yeah, there's this communication with spirit that you're getting that's going to really help you to bring satisfaction, and allow you yeah, this fellowship with man to really work. The vertical line of spirit is strong, but the horizontal line of daily life is overgrown with fungus, indicating chaos. The cosmic balls show the possibility of great change. Isn't that beautiful? Your advice. Your advice is this Ten of Swords, which means death of, it's like a small death of the ego, but it's not really the ego that needs to die. It's our concept of what the ego is, or of our concept, how we build, or how we think about certain stuff. An internalized belief system. Some the way I'm looking always at this card is that we always create these personas to, like, we delegate certain personas to deal with uncomfortable situation where we're not really fully showing ourselves because we feel vulnerable, because we feel scared. And these personas we grew in time, when we create, when a shadow is being created, when we put up some defense mechanism, this defense mechanism becomes like a guardian. And this was the guardian that hold that space that you didn't want to, or didn't feel you can't have the strength to reach or to work with, or that you denied of yourself, to keep that place hidden. Whether it was a protective move, you want to, it's too soft and vulnerable, so you need it to stay hidden or unprotected, or you didn't like that part of you, so you have had to cut it off, so you keep that wall of protection. That wall of protection can manifest as this like threshold guardian, and it has certain qualities, and it comes out in a certain way. Let's say, for example, if I suffer of social anxiety, and if I go out to parties, I'm going to not going to show that anxiety most of the time. I'm going to have a certain persona showing up, and I'm not going to show myself up in my vulnerability and all my whatever that shows up. I'm going to come up with a way of dealing with that. And maybe I will project a person that is actually quite sociable, or has certain skills that are not really how I am when I'm fully relaxed and with my small group or whatever. You see sometimes how people can act so differently when they're in a small group, or when they're at work, or when they're with a bigger group, and so on. You see these defense mechanisms start showing up. This is just an example. It doesn't necessarily need to talk about the social anxiety or about anything of the sort, but it is important for yourself now to identify how do you tend to show up in these competitions. I remember in the past few readings for Taurus, there was the Five of Swords showing up a lot. I'm really happy to not see it here this time. But it is interesting that the Five of Wands showed up. So maybe you used to show up in certain ways in this type of competition, and this type of, like, when you're being challenged. Maybe you were more focused on winning, or maybe you were trying to find the errors of other people in order to, I don't know, it doesn't matter. Whatever your strategy was, whatever it was that your defense mechanism used to be, whoever you were sending over, whatever threshold guardian you were sending over to show up for you, that persona needs to be retired right now. And that's your advice, to let that part of you go, because it is not needed now. A great change is happening, and there's great potential for you to really show your deepest inner strength. And I like this sign here. I know it means something else. There's this symbolism with in this deck that it's more in the school of thought of Crowley, and it's going much deeper. But I see it as a heart here. The biggest, deepest strength is vulnerability, connection, and compassion. Those are real strengths. And doesn't necessarily mean that I'm gonna let these kids stick and, I don't know, kick me in the head because I'm all that compassionate and loving. But it means that I'm going to show up there fully, and I'm not going to pretend that I don't care, or that I care too much, or that I will be, and I wouldn't take them for real enemies. I know this is a playful thing. I know that this is how we are maybe bonding or creating so we are helping each other train. This is helpful for each and every person, individual here, but they're doing something together. And with the Queen of Wands here, I think again the strength kind of really comes through. Kali, let's read Kali. I don't really know so much about her. I mean, like, I know, but I don't want to go into that type of symbolism. Let's see what the card meant in itself. This is wands. They wands. Okay, Mother of Wands. Kali Main's color is black for non-being. She wears a moon crown and has 6 limbs, the number of the lovers. She's copulating with a dead Shiva, her consort. A snake winds around Shiva. Kali looms up huge in the sky, her feet on the earth. Divinatory meanings: wild female energy, dark power, and sexual energy. Yeah, it is what I thought it's going to be. I just didn't know this guy was dead. That's a bit weird. Anyway, never mind. Sometimes these personas that I talked about earlier, these threshold guardians, they think they protect us from our darkness, from our fears, from our like whatever power can sometimes feel like can enable our inner demons to show up and create chaos. But I think that this energy of the chaos of the dark now is, you're strong enough to cope with it, you're strong enough to channel it, you're strong enough to release it and bring it into your reality, not keeping it like always on the other side of the fence because you're too scared to tap into it. This dark chaotic energy of the wild woman, whether you're female or a male, is very needed into our world, and it had been suppressed for too long. Female sexuality had been suppressed for too long, and this whole wild woman concept had been demonized in a sense, and women had been, tamed to be very contained and to deny their own sexuality and to be, used and abused and so on. And yeah, of course, there's change now, but that doesn't come easy, and there's still a lot of the old that's coming forth. We all have this energy of Kali within us, the sexual energy, the chaos energy, the dark energy. We can put it at good use right now. We have the strength. And you, particular Taurus, right now, you're being called forward to allow Kali, this dark sexual energy. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're not gonna have to have a lot of sex or you need to do that. It's not about this. It's about channeling that. Sexual energy is like vital energy. It's what the sexual drive is, what enables us to create life. It's life force energy. Allow yourself to access it, and you have obviously the strength, and you learn how to work with this. And then it's the future energy of the Knight of Swords and the Prince of Stones. They're both like knights. There's transformation, no, like expansion. There's expansion going on. Your mind finally is able to expand and accommodate all these understanding of what this process means, how to access this energy, how to retire the old threshold guardians that were keeping you safe and contained, and how to approach your challenges from a place of the wisdom. You see, there's a snake here and there's a snake here, and the snakes do talk about wisdom. The snakes talk about the wisdom of the earth and about rebirth and shedding off a skin. This is shedding off a skin. There's 2 snakes and this 10 of swords. You're allowing yourself to really shed off another skin and go deeper to the core of your being, which is fantastic. And the Knight of Swords will also enable you to be able to communicate about this. And to share this truth with the world. And the Prince of Stones, the Son of Stones in the West. Well, he's this Chief Seattle. He was the tribe leader that was speaking for all other tribes. So there's definitely a deep element of communication in here, and it's communication when you're communicating your own experience with this, how you going through this challenge, what you're learning from your downloads, how you're perceiving all these expansion. There's so much expansion going on here. See, there's 3 knights in here. And you are able to speak for the many that go through similar experience and maybe don't have voice. And this is very important and very encouraging. You're being encouraged to stand up for yourself, to speak about this process and this experience. And with the 6 of Wands here is victory, and at the bottom of your deck with the Knight of Cups, I think this opens you up also emotionally, because you bring in this strength within, or you bring in this dark energy out, and you allow yourself to be like more whole in a sense, and you expand your emotional self, your physical self, and also your mind. There's so much growth in here. Fantastic, Taurus. Let's pull out a card from the Rumi Oracle. Give you some guidance. Okay, I feel like this one's the card for you. She offers the sacred wine, so drink. This is number 32, which again, it's a 5. That's growth. All right, so you have a long poem here from our dear Rumi, which says, O wine giver of enlightened hearts, offer me the wine of your kindness, for this is the reason you have brought me here from the desert of oblivion. O beautiful wine giver, pour me the wine that gives me insight. Offer me the wine from the sea of love and fill my heart with pearls. Pour into my heart until I shred the veil and go beyond reason. My spirit is consumed by judgment, and my life is reduced by thoughts. Pour that precious wine over the frozen cries of skeptics until their words become warm and their nays become yes. This is why you have this 4 of Swords here, because, being consumed by judgment and the life being reduced by thoughts, you're with this almost, it sounds almost like a prayer, this poem. Pour that precious wine over the frozen cries of skeptics until their words become warm. That's why this Knight of Swords here kind of comes after this transformational experience of experiencing your power, the power of the strength in love, the strength in vulnerability, the strength in connection. Yeah. Don't remember exactly where I was going with that. Let's read what's the guidance. This oracle comes with guidance for you. Are you having fun yet? Well, you may need to wash your hair and tend to your accounts. That is fine, but you may even need to, well, it doesn't matter. It's an expression. You have a lot of work to do. But over and over again, beloved, sure you can find some time in between the endless to-dos and to-dos list to throw a tantrum and come dancing. Your honor and commitment, discipline and focus are certainly to be rewarded with some uninhibited nonsense, hopefully. Come, put aside that seriousness for a moment or more and allow the wild child in you to take your body and soul for a spin. Together, let's go and paint the town the color of love. Nice. Seems that you're really called to play. Allow that playfulness to come out. I really like this, and I like that it really plays in also with Kali here, because it says that your honor and commitment, discipline and focus are certainly to be rewarded with some uninhibited nonsense, hopefully. Put your seriousness from aside and allow the wild child in you to take your body and soul for a spin. That's beautiful. Okay, Taurus, I hope that makes sense to you. If it did, please like, share, and subscribe. Feel free to comment if it how it resonates for you. And yeah, may our practice benefit all beings. I'll see you here next month. Have a beautiful February.